Tucked away high in the mountains of the Eastern Cape is the historic Zuurberg Mountain Village Inn. And for the fourth year, this hidden gem played host to the 3-day PwC Great Zuurberg Trek mountain bike race. Riders registered as two-person teams the night before stage 1. After a comfortable night's sleep, it was a bright and early start for stage 1. The biggest field in the 4 years of the race, 95 teams lined up outside the Zuurberg Inn for the start.
Yeah, it's early morning and it's nice and fresh as always, but it's going to be a party. I've ridden here before, I know the trails and they are fun to ride, so it's going to be a good day.
No, it's her first one at all. I've done a couple, so yeah.
Yeah, so looking forward.
But she kept nagging, she wanted to get out of the kitchen, so yeah.
The racing was likely to be top draw. The quality of the field was next level. Defending champion Andrew Hill of TRB had teamed up with PE pro Marco Hubert. Making the trip up from the Western Cape were Waylon Wilcock and HP Creer of Team BCX. Ascendus Health pro Gert Haynes had brought with him multiple South African cross-country age group champion Arno du Toit. Add to that the likes of Chris Volater and Craig Boys, and the Masters Andrew McLean and Joel Stransky, and you had all the ingredients for some out-of-the-box racing. Stage 1 was 70 kilometres with 1,300 metres of climbing and took us out on the Zuurberg Pass for 10 kilometres. A great chance for those of us new to the area to take in the truly incredible views. Gerhard Slabbert and Fanny Delport were already enjoying the ride. Once off the pass, a section of wild single track called Seven Dwarfs Drop took us into the Addo National Park. This was sensational riding. It's a horse trail, and it's the only time mountain bikers are able to ride it. This set the tone for 3 days of limit-pushing descents and single track. Riding in the thick bush gave you a feeling of being in a dark tunnel. Incredible. Once at the bottom, we meandered along the Witrivier. Beautiful riding. The trickle through which we pedalled, a stark reminder of the devastating drought in the region. After the beauty of the valley, the gnarly loose Monty's Python climb took us away from the river. At just over a kilometre long, it was a steep and tricky ascent that had even the best bent double. The Engeli Tavkor commercial water point was the reward at the top. BCX's Creer and Wilcock led Haynes and a long line of contenders behind them. Andrew Ogden, making sure partner Wayne Fenton knew exactly who the stronger climber was.
Yeah, we just went through an awesome section of single track. That was just unbelievable. Yeah, that's why we are smiling so much.
Coke and brandy. Nee, ek dink is net Coke.
Andrea Shirley, one of the top women in the sport and a former winner of the women's race, riding with husband Steve. A section of fast-flowing jeep track and farm roads took the field towards the Slagboom Dam. This was wonderful riding. Again, the low river levels could not be ignored. These are desperate times for the farmers and animals in these parts. The track undulated through the bush before heading into the Insomi Game Reserve and yet more breathtaking single track. But all good things must come to an end, and it was back onto the smooth wide district road for a while. Ironman boss Paul Wolf was all smiles. And why not, as he rolled towards the USN water table at 40 kilometres.
Great. Bit tough. I'm not used to mountain bike, but beautiful scenery. I've seen the track in a long time. Well done, guys. Cool. Great race up. Hey, partner!
The terrain changed dramatically, with the route winding in and out of the massive citrus orchards that make the Sundays River Valley one of the biggest citrus producing regions in the world. The farmers in this region were amazing in allowing the ride to pass through their lands, even while they were harvesting. Then another short stretch in Insomi, and then we were headed for the Haterdale section. Any illusions about the trail's surface were soon dispelled. This is harsh country, where the small loose stones and rocks made for hard work on the climbs. The PwC water point was at the base of the final 9-kilometre climb back up to the finish, and it was a chance to refuel and score a few points perhaps.
Chasing cows? Chasing my old partner who decided to drop me this year, hey? But we're having fun.
It's been brilliant out there so far. We look forward to the end. I think we've got, 9 Ks to go or so, and that's just hills. But we're making it.
Guys are acing it.
Yeah.
We're acing it.
Route much better than last year. They've made it nice and fast. And my partner came this year, right this year. Last year he was a ghost.
Like everything at the PwC Great Zuurberg Trek, the service on offer at the water points was out of this world. George, Peter and Saint-Marie saddled up and headed for the hills. Up ahead, the race lead was being disputed by 3 teams. HB Creer was dishing out the pain on the front for BCX. Hill and Hubert and Haynes and Dutoy were hanging in. In the Masters race, former Bok legend Joel Stransky hanging on to Andrew McLean's back wheel. The finish wasn't far away. Into the chute they came, and it was BCX's HB Creer and Waylon Wilcock who had managed to get away from their rivals on the last few kilometres of the climb to take the stage win.
Nice deep track, nice single track, nice trails, very dry and dusty, and it was quite cool finishing up a proper climb like the Zuurberg Pass, and looking forward to the rest of the weekend.
Not everyone had a smooth ride up the pass. Check out Jason Sharrock and Michael Bradford doing it multi-sport style.
The bike just decided to take off without me, and I got to go catch it. It's not my fault. I mean, my legs just left with the bike. But well, I must say, trail running I think is more for me right now than being on that bike.
Dwayne and Esther Truter killing it softly. Kat Haynes and Arno de Toy of Ascendus LCB were 129 back in second, with Hubert and Hill in third. Annie David and Siska van der Bijl, the best of the women's teams, and the Dryland Ultimate pair of Neil Ungara and Yolandi de Villiers won the mixed. After a good hard 70 k's on the bike, there's no better way to get the body back into working order than a massage. Dinner was simply out of this world. If it wasn't on the menu, it wasn't worth eating.
Yes, it was a beautiful day. But that single track, I mean, I think I could just do loops of that. Go down the mountain, come back up, go down the mountain. It's something I've never experienced before, and I think you can only ride down that section once a year in this race. So it's very special.
An overnight rain shower had washed the dust and fatigue away, and we were up and ready for day 2, the Queen Stage.
I'm looking forward to all these absolutely gorgeous views. and the long climbs, believe it or not. No, this is just absolutely awesome.
Hopefully we'll maintain our position. We're 5th overall, so the pro guys are quite a bit ahead of us there, about 7 minutes. I think the trick is to just try and maintain our position. I don't know if we'll catch them, but it looks like today might suit us, the rough stuff, but yeah, we'll see at the end.
The first 7 kilometres were the same as stage 1. A chance to get the legs going for what was going to be a really tough ride. 80 kilometres, 1,700 metres of climbing. But that doesn't tell half the story. As Jason said, there was plenty of rough stuff to enjoy today. Anela Madlana on a mission. Without his Exara Academy partner, Chepo Tlo. Our drop off the pass this time was to the right down a steep and loose jeep track. Technically proficient riders just love this type of trail, and most of the field were well capable of handling it. Superstitious women's leaders Annie and Siska with their number 13 boards upside down. The day's first serious climb was a section of the Zuurberg Pass. We were heading for the Karoo and had a few mountains to get over first. It was a long drag and the road surface deteriorated the higher we climbed, but again eminently rideable, and the views to the east were truly majestic. The second water table was an oasis.
No, good man, strong. Legs are. Enjoyed that last climb with the breeze behind us. Just going to wait for a few mates and enjoy the rest of the day.
Oh, it was a long climb, but beautiful, eh? Oh, you can see the ocean and the Karoo.
Earlier on you were telling me how easy it was, now you're moaning.
It's all about putting on the face, eh?
We then headed southeast along an old farm track over the series of Karoo koppies. We could see the dry, arid Karoo to our right and the Indian Ocean some 50 kilometres away to our left. It was noticeable how the vegetation had changed. It was a clear indication we were moving into another biome. The Great Zuurberg Trek is renowned for its diverse terrain and vegetation, and for good reason. Over the 3 days, the route takes riders through 5 of South Africa's 7 known biomes. Getting off the escarpment entailed negotiating the white-knuckle descent, a powdery, loose, rocky, steep jeep track. It was a proper challenge for those who wanted to test their skill and nerve. But it did take us straight into the magical Karoo.
You know, it's a different part of South Africa, and we're all, you know, we're lucky. We're Wine to Wales and Sani near the big cities. But you come out here and you got the Karoo. I mean, we're about to go into the Karoo. We just came down this gnarly, rocky descent into the deep Karoo, whereas a couple of hours ago we were in the valleys and the deep jungles of the Addo Elephant Park.
Great route. One of the better rides we've done, I think. Definitely. Surprised by the amount of climbing, but otherwise so far so good.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a tough day for us. My partner's had lots of patience, but this last downhill that we just had now is just made up for all of it. But yeah, it's been great. The weather's been kind to us, and yeah, another great day on the bikes. What can we say?
What might have been a long flat drag through the Karoo was transformed by 3 kilometres of hand-built single track and the odd bridge to make it flow even faster. It was serious fun. The lead group of 3 teams leaving the Karoo farmlands. It was a short section of district road which led them to the Zuurberg Pass once more. The pass was built in 1858 and the labour were fed freshly baked bread by Scotsman John Webster, who built this house, Anne's Villa, in 1864. He named it after his wife Anne, who died at the age of 46, having borne 14 children. The pass was as close as the Boer War got to Port Elizabeth. Wounded soldiers recovered, but the Boer commandos raided the shop. Nowadays, it's a seldom travelled, scenic and tranquil corner of the Eastern Cape, and the climb to the top saps the energy from your body. It's around now that the harsh realities of riding the Great Zuurberg Trek push home.
You put it this way. You need to train. You can't rely on muscle memory. I think my muscles suffer from Alzheimer's. It's a lot less running today, but so far so good, eh? Oh, this hill's an absolute killer, but glad I'm to be at the top.
With the pass a simple option to go back, route planner Brad Jackson had other ideas. A short, sharp climb to the summit of a hill, and then it was on to Gower's Gauntlet. Another simply outrageous piece of trail cut into the side of the mountain. This was wild riding at its very best. Not everyone made it down without issues.
It's stunning. But too many hills, but for every hill there's a downhill, and we've just done the most incredible downhill here. I'm looking forward to getting back to the hotel. Nice shower, couple of beers, watch a bit of rugby.
Seasoned rider Malcolm Rutherford had teamed up with winemaker Peter Ferreira, who was on a voyage of discovery.
Absolutely fabulous. You know, this is my first stage race ever, and if I'm exposed to this beauty, I will surely be back. It's fantastic.
It's been fantastic. It's been hard. Legs are sore. Will I come again next year? Probably. Definitely. Thoroughly enjoyable. Wonderfully organised, watering points.
The Elephant Trunk Trail took us through more of the Addo National Park, the privilege of which may have been lost on us briefly in the face of the climbing, but on reflection, it was simply stunning. As was the race village, which we reached not long afterwards. What a pleasure to roll back into a venue that had the riders' needs at heart. Time for a debrief from some of the leading teams, starting with Annie and Siska.
Yeah, the wind child is a bit, we're stuck on our own for 90% of the day, so I think she took a bit of strain. She had a bit of a cold, but we're here and we're quite happy with it.
Yes, it was tough. Climbing, but beautiful route, lots of technical stuff, awesome descents. But yeah, it was quite a hard one. It's really the queen stage of this event.
That it certainly was, but her crown will glint brightly in our memories as one of the very best. A second stage win for Crew and Woolcock, who extended their overall lead over Haynes and Du Toit by 2 minutes and 40 seconds. GZT pedigree, Siska and Annie were well clear of their closest rivals, and Steve and Andrea Shirley were 49 minutes behind mixed winners Neil and Yolandi.
It's going to be a cold start and a windy finish, I suspect, but looking forward to it. I know I've been down in the valley before and it's just great fun.
Start of the PWC Great Zuurberg Track last stage, a bit chilly today, but I think the racing is going to warm up quite quick with a small little hill that awaits us on the start. So we're looking forward to it today. Short and sharp day, a bit of a play day, and I think it's going to be fun.
Fun was very definitely what it was all about. 48 kilometers, 1200 meters of climbing. Again, the devil is in the detail. It was single track heaven. Sometimes some of the hardest but most rewarding riding. The short, sharp climb above the village woke the legs up. Although Gert Haynes had clearly got up bright and early as he led the fast guys. The run back through our stunning accommodation at the Zuurberg Mountain Village Inn was truly awesome. This is what sets this event apart. We stayed in these villas and in luxury tents. It really was special. In keeping with the route theme of finding the road less ridden, the descent of the mountain down Holgat was another blast. A chance to release all your inner downhill emotions and let it all hang out. Jason Reed and Jason Peach were well at home. After a few lung-busting climbs and hectic descents, the Unity in Africa water point appeared at 15 k's. No stopping for the leaders, there was trail to ride and a race to win. This was an extraordinary day. It was like a hybrid of cross-country, enduro and hill climbing. It had it all. Harry Ney followed by William Craven. Edgar Quinton, whose partner Gary Erasmus, had ridden all 4 events. And now we know exactly why. Local farmers Rob and Trevor Hayter have a passion for the sport, and they've carved a veritable mountain bike nirvana out of the mountains here at Hayterdale. Now into the famed Hayterdale trails. Gert Haynes led Wilcock, Kruger, Hubert and De Toy. Hey, but you don't have to hammer it at top speed to enjoy it. It was clear the cross-country boys Haynes and Hubert were loving every minute. In and out of the rabbit hole they charged. The PwC Great Zuurberg Trek is a boutique race that offers something very different to stage race fans.
I think there are a place for these events where you sleep in a two-man tent amongst hundreds of other people, but this is really a top-class accommodation. It's a small field of 200 riders, so you have an opportunity to mix with everybody in the evenings, in the afternoons, so that to us is very attractive.
It is the most fun I've had on a bike in a long time. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
The single track here is fantastic because it's not predictable. It's rough and hard, but it's fantastic.
Yeah, the old guy here murdered me today. Other than that, I don't have much to say. I'm just kind of trying to hang on for the last 8 Ks.
And those last 8 Ks were the by now familiar Zuurberg Pass climb to the village. The tussle for stage honours was intense at the front. Gert Haynes was setting a mean tempo. Annie David was leaning on partner Siska van der Bijl as they tapped out a solid rhythm. At the finish, it was Kruger and Wilcock who made a clean sweep of all 3 stages.
So yeah, it was nice to take a stage win, and it did come down to just like the last not even kilometre to the finish. We just put in a bit of an effort, and guys under pressure, and yeah, just a small gap, but happy with that.
It was all about teamwork up the long mountain climb. Just 36 seconds separated the top 3 teams on the day. Siska and Annie were once again the powerhouse pair in the women's race, and there was no stopping Neil and Yolandi in the mixed. After 3 days, BCX finished just under 4.5 minutes ahead of Haynes and De Toy, with a combined time of 8 hours and 8 minutes. Siska van der Bijl and Annie David, who were a last-minute combination, proved the best of the women. And Dryland Ultimates and Neil Ungara and Yolandi de Villiers were the winners of the mixed race. There were smiles all round after another truly stunning weekend of mountain biking at the PwC Great Zuurberg Trek.
The Eastern Cape is setting itself up to be a mountain biking sort of mecca. And that's why I do it. I love mountain biking, but I also want to be able to talk about these trails and places to ride and bring people to our province to ride. So it's really important for me to experience it and also to enjoy it.
From the tents, the accommodation, look at those tents. Magic, it's like 5-star accommodation, the food, everything, but the mountain biking is superb. And today was actually awesome. I'll come back here just for the stage. So it was awesome. So definitely back next year. We're going up there now, we're going to book again.
There's no question about it, the PwC Great Zuurberg Trek is a very special event. Champagne all round after 3 days of luxury fun and seriously good riding.